So this is a preview of episode 2 of The Adventures of Team Australia, which was Tony Abbott and the quest for the suppository of wisdom. But goddamn, even I eventually got sick of that name, so I'm going to rebrand. So now episode 1 will be, of The Adventures of Team Australia will be the suppository of wisdom. But I'm just going to show you some of the new features in episode 2. We've just got to the end of the introduction sequence, which catches us up with basically what happened in episode 1, and now we're in Sydney, and we're at Kirribilli House, and we're just wandering back inside after being told off by Malcolm. And Malcolm's gone off now as his alter ego, Malcolm Trumbull, because he's got some important work to do in the United States. But we're back in Sydney. We've had our passport confiscated, but we've got to get out and get back to searching for the suppository of wisdom. And it looks like we've already found some excitement behind this door. Let's see. Someone needs help in this toilet. This sounds like a job for Team Australia. It's the kind of thing we're up to. Oh, it's Peter. He's run out of toilet paper. Right, we've got a new quest. Tutorial Onion tells us TP for PD. So now we can have a look at the new quest system, which is one of the best new things I think we've got. It's a great plugin from Gamius, if I'm pronouncing that right. We access it through this diary. And so we can see we've got our main quest here is Escape from Sydney. So for that we've got to visit Bronwyn Bishop and find a way to win back her trust to get that Bronnycopter. But TP for PD, okay, so first step is to get toilet paper. We get 100 XP. Alright. Well, we can get to doing that. Let's have a look through. Who's through here? Oh, it's Barnaby with his lovely decorated office. Oh, shit. Shit brew. Kia ora. I don't think we can say much to Barnaby yet. He's got a few things to do. This is back when, because of course this game is set in the Bizarro alternate world, Barnaby's still the deputy PM in this game. He does have a double bed in his office because he's a very hard-working man, Barnaby. He might even stay at the office overnight to work extra hard in his double bed. What a proud... Doesn't he make you feel proud to be an Australian? And up here, who's this? It's only bloody Judge Brandis, who gives quite a long speech, so we'll skip through it. But basically, the battle for political supremacy has moved to this bold new technology called the internet, which is very exciting for the LNP. They're the Innovation Party. They want to turn Australia into the Innovation Nation. So they're all about that internet. And I just skipped through that, but we'll have a look at that later. I don't want to give away too many spoilers here, just to show off some of the new features. We can head up to Abbott House, which is our main thing. We'll have a look around Sydney perhaps in a minute as well. Let's see. So the tutorial Onion is telling us, so the bath at Abbott House, like in episode 1, we take baths to replenish our health. I think that's a bit better than using beds, it's a bit cliche. And there's also a day-night cycle, so it's a very long bath. There's a bit of a dynamic weather thing happening as well. And there's our new computer system up here. So he's had too much coffee to sleep, which is fair enough. Found $7 in change. And what's this? The Sydney Handbook for LNP Conservatives, which we can access through here. It's a key item. And as you can see, it's a handbook for members of the Liberal and National parties. And we can basically flick through. Tells us who important people are, like Tony, Joe, Peter, the very caring potato, Malcolm, the PM, Judge Brandis, who is the law. He is the law. Judge Judy and Executioner Christopher, the human weasel hybrid, Barnaby, Bronny, and our places. We've got Abbott House, Kirribilli House, Mike Baird's Pleasure Paradise, which is... whatever happened to Mike Baird? He disappeared. disappeared, and but it's the only place that's open after midnight, so always very busy. Everywhere else is closed. What an exciting venture! You know, we wish him all the best in his life in the private sector. Bronwyn Manor, we've got Bondi, of course, classic Australian iconic beach, and the ABC studio, the home to the filthy commies and lefty lynch mobs. Well, they've used their influence in Australian media to brainwash the youth into believing in things like climate change and human rights like nonsense. And there'll be some battles at the ABC studio later, particularly with trying to unbrainwash the youth, you know. And there's the inner city, Castle Wentworth, some of our hazards we might come up against, that old BuzzFeed journalist, bin chickens, various people. Some of them you'll recognise from episode 1, like the young green and the poor people. We've also got the mad fucking witch, the arch enemy of Peter Dutton, of course. Got MRAs, white nationalists, the patriot mummers, basket of deplorables, some of our online opponents, a blank profile. There's lesbians who are obsessed with tennis, of course. The gay, very threatening to Tony. Keyboard warriors, Russian trolls. We've also got some information on clothing, equipment, consumables, and so on. So that's our handy guide to Sydney. All right, we can jump online, have a look at what that's like. New state-of-the-art technology for the LNP. Have a look in our inbox. So we got an email from George here, just telling us that it's been set up. We got some spam, of course, bloody clintonh@hotmail.com, sending us secret files. Got some mail from me there. Recycling bin. We can go into our computer. Oh look, we can change the computer backdrop. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, incredible. Oh, but the bloody PC brigade have made the bin a recycling bin, because bloody bullshit. Let's put Johnny up there. We've got... doesn't that make you feel proud? That's a nice background. And there's the internet, so we can basically we can argue with people on these forums. We won't do that now. We'll just turn off for now. Have a look at the day-night cycle and the weather cycle, see what that's like. So things are a bit different at night. Obviously it's a bit darker. It's not raining, so that's nice. Hopefully it will rain a bit later and we can show you what that's like. It's Bronwyn Manor, so we won't be able to get in here, I think, at night, because, no. We do have some of her path interns there, working hard. It's potted down, so there's Kirribilli House. Well, we got to pay to cross the bloody Sydney Harbour Bridge, because that's privatisation for you. We can pop into the city. So here we can actually move along and into Oxford Street, the heart of the gay empire, but look at these queues. How's anyone getting anywhere? Even that bin chicken's stuck. Out of one club and into the next, that's ridiculous. So yeah, I don't think there's much we want to be doing on Oxford Street at the moment. We can pop out, let's just pop back into the main city. Bookshop's closed. It's a nice church there. I think a lot of this will be closed now for night time, but we can probably get in and buy some toilet paper at least. Yeah, sadly that pub will be closed because it is night time. We can get into the old kebab shop. We can buy some various kebabs and things. We get an HSP, of course, because we are in Sydney. Very handy. It's good. It does halal damage to nationalists and so on. The One Nation mob. So that's handy. If you ever come up against them, the halal really does fuck them up. But we just need to get some toilet paper. $6. Very expensive. Let's grab some newspaper, grab some ginger tea, maybe some coffee. Onions are cheap. Let's grab a bunch of onion. Alright, quest updated. Nice. So now we just need to bring this toilet paper back to Peter and we'll be golden. we've run into some trouble though. It's a social justice warrior. Bloody SJWs. Coming to bully us. And a social justice mage. And a bloody social justice rogue. So we're buying Jarrah toilet paper, which I imagine... I don't think rich people would wipe their asses with regular toilet paper. It would have to be Jarrah or oak. Mahogany toilet paper, maybe. It's a fancy wood. Something good, you know? Oh, that's nice. Oh, I just skipped over it. Nice reference to that great Smith Street Band song. Now, this is a pretty difficult battle. Which I did on purpose. I'm going to get Joe to immediately read this newspaper to get frustrated because his hot dance is going to come in handy here. This is good. We're making them feel uncomfortable with that creepy laugh. That's going to stop them from using too many attacks on us. Okay. Let's get in early with some swearing at this mage and a hot dance. And you can see as well this new battle system, so we've got some avatars now at the bottom, and also enemy attacks are rudimentarily animated, so like that trigger warning before we wouldn't have had any animation for enemy attacks. CD Wink, let's use that on the SJW and get Joe to do another hot dance. Okay, good. Got him feeling sick. Very good. Doing some reasonable damage. That trigger warning, yes, we avoided that one. Very nice. Alright, creepy laugh. Actually, no, I'm not going to creepy laugh. I'm going to nod silently now at the mage. I want to... That social justice mage can be a real problem later. And I might even use smoke rings on her as well. You might have noticed in the LNP handbook, if you were particularly paying attention, the social justice mage can create a safe space, which is really not... It would be a problem for us, basically. So we want to knock them out nice and early. Okay, good. It's always good to target one opponent at a time. Let's see. Let's do some regular arguments now. Joe's still got a few tricks up his sleeve. We'll just go with regular arguments. Rogue is swearing at us. Good. Okay. Being called out by the social justice warrior. But we're doing okay, to be honest. We're about... Joe's not looking too good, but we're pretty frustrated. We can do a bit of swearing. That'll help us out. The social justice rogue isn't too bad. That'll occasionally headbutt us, and I actually want to redo that art so that they more closely resemble DJ AstroTurf. It's basically based on a regular attack there, and Joe can eat an onion. Alright, we're doing good. Trigger warnings, not too bad. Tony could... You know what? He can drink a coffee and maybe we can pull in some new attacks. Joe can blow some smoke rings. It's called out Tony. But now Tony can... Let's go with a creepy laugh. Joe can swear a bit more. Okay, now this is pretty much the first argument of the game after the tutorial. And as you can see, it's pretty difficult, but if the argument is lost, it doesn't go to game over. I'm trying to get away from any kind of game over situation and also get away from random encounters. That's a nice thing that happens there as well. Joe had targeted the social justice warrior, but as the warrior got knocked out, the attack automatically went to the rogue, so That's just a good feature of the base engine. We should be just about done here. But it has been a pretty close argument. If that social justice warrior had checked their privilege, like this rogue is here, they could have brought their willpower back, but now the rogue's on their own, we can take them out without too much trouble. But yeah, it is a difficult battle, actually, that one. We still haven't won. But we also bought quite a few supplies at Coles there, so... Jeez, they're just avoiding this last bit. What the... Let's... Okay. Just bloody finish them off. Alright, there we go. Quite a bit of XP. And we got some Kofifi, got a tinny, very nice, and some smashed Avo on toast. And so there's little cutscenes like this. I mean, it's not really a cutscene, but basically the plot will progress whether you win, lose, or run away. So I've tried to make it a bit more dynamic, a bit more open-ended, less ending to game over, less loading, reloading, that sort of thing. But let's pop back now, and on the way back up to Abbott House we can drop in and give Peter his toilet paper. Ah, so he's getting a new home office, which is exciting because he'll be able to use his toilet at home, because apparently that's what a home office is. Alright, now we've got Peter. It's a level 1 Very Caring Potato, which is a reference to the Pauline Pants Down song. Cool beans. And now, if we have a look at our diary, main quests, we can go across in progress completed. TP for PD is done, so we got 100 XP for that one. Very nice. If we have a look at our status, Tony, so he's almost up to level 4 now. Very nice. Joe as well, almost at level 4. Peter, he needs 50 XP to get to level 2. That's good. We can jump up now. We're going to have another bath. 3 in the bath. Will they all fit? Yes, they will. They're a team. They don't mind being close. And as the Onion said, the team that bathes together stays together. Beautiful. Look at that. Team Australia back together. I just want to jump in the bath again. I'm hoping I can show off some of the rain effects. So the weather changes randomly, and the weather will also affect some other things, the same as day and night. Nothing too extreme. But it will basically help to make the world a bit more dynamic. It's not changing. Oh well. It does at times. So if we pop down now, how much money do we have? Got $64. Okay. Let's cross the road. Let's head over to Bondi. So I've got Fucked here, a lovely burger chain that's get a Work Choices burger that expired in 2007, or some exploitation fries. So the Work Choices burger gives you a bit of an attack buff. The exploitation fries can help you with hangovers and so on. Kofifi and Mocha, regular kind of stuff. Got a hipster there, let's avoid them. Some more bin chickens wandering around. If we pop into this surf shop, and I just got to redo some of this graphics because it's all stock graphics. We can't afford that leather jacket, but we can get some budgie smugglers. And another feature we've got here is not items, but equipment. So if we equip Tony now with these budgie smugglers, it actually changes the graphics of his little avatar and his sprite. So now he's in his beach gear. That's nice. Shit. Okay, I'm just gonna see if we can get away. Well, we can. You know what? Let's deal with it. And so now that he's wearing his Budgie Smugglers, he's unlocked the Smuggle Budgies skill, which doesn't actually do anything yet because I haven't scripted it, but it will do. Okay, let's blow smoke in its eyes. Bin chickens as well, so I've tried to make them basically common enemies. So with getting rid of random encounters, so just randomly running into enemies, means now that basically you can play the game the way you want. But because it costs $3 to get from North and South Sydney across the Harbour Bridge, I had to have ways of basically the player getting money on each side. So on the north side, you can always argue with people on the internet and get some money. And on the south side, there are bin chickens, there are hipsters, there are people you can run into. So there's all sorts of stuff going on. There's always ways to get money. Just spraying us with some bin juice there. And I've tried to make it a bit... yeah, Peter's not too good at saying intelligent things. I've tried to make it as well kind of dynamic so that depending on your level and so on. So yeah, so this bin chicken summoned some more bin chickens, and it probably wouldn't have done that if it were just Tony and Joe. And the more, basically the higher the level you are, the higher the level of your party, and the more wins you've had and so on. Let's get, I don't know, telling a bad joke to a bird is going to do anything. We can try. But yeah, basically the better you're doing, the more difficult the enemies will be. So again, trying to make that a bit dynamic. Okay, cool, that was a critical hit, taking out that one. Okay, Bin Chicken C does not appreciate Peter's jokes. Tony has to vomit because he's feeling sick. In fact, actually, no he doesn't. Because we got some ginger tea, so Tony can drink that. Joe can eat an onion. Peter can pretty much do nothing useful because it's fucking Peter Dutton and he is useless. He can taunt the bloody bin chickens. Excuse me. Alright, this bin chicken stole an onion with its beak, and this one stole another onion. So we're down 2 onions, but Tony's feeling better, Joe's feeling better. Okay, so Peter's taunting them now. So he'll be the target of their attacks. Joe can do a hot dance. Peter can do not anything too useful. Keep trying to argue with them. Okay. Swear at that one. Joe's not got anything up his sleeve particularly. He's feeling sick, I see. He's just gonna have to vomit. Peter can... I mean, we could give Peter an onion, but he's kind of useless at the moment. So with Peter, he's, as a level 1 very caring potato, he can't do a lot against... Basically in an argument like this, he can't do much. Because these bin chickens target everyone. In other situations, it can be okay, but his abilities kind of come into effect a bit later on. So he's a grower, not a shower. He takes a while to get good. Let's try. We've got that bin chicken's already upset. We can keep swearing at it. Peter can tell another bad joke. Man, they are stealing all our onions. God damn it, they stole our tinny as well. Fuck, actually that tinny could have been useful. I probably should have drunk that. Oh well. We'll probably be okay, because we've got one of them's confused, the other one's not doing too well. If we keep getting Tony to nod at them, it'll keep them confused, and then we can use our other abilities to kind of mess them up a bit. Peter's out, that's no good. Kind of doing okay. fuck, because they stole all our onions. We're actually kind of screwed now. In fact, I'm going to try to escape again. We're not getting away. Now Cho's down. Oh, shit. And it's still our smashed Avo now. It's like the last thing we had. And we were defeated. But we're still here. We didn't get any XP. In fact, we may have lost some XP, and we're down to 1. So we just lost a lot of gear. It was not a successful argument with that bin chicken. But, you know, we're at Bondi. It's a lovely day at the beach. Messing up. Tony's a bit of a dick, isn't he? Yeah, oh well. Next time we'll have to be more prepared. And, oh no. Actually, you know what? Hipsters are easy because they don't follow politics, they don't do anything. Can knock them out easy. See, he doesn't follow politics, and it has no effect. Apathy does nothing. So we don't get much XP, but we did get $1 and some more smashed Avo and a single origin soy latte macchiato, which is a nice coffee. Well, we're a bit buggered. So let's run back to Abbott House, have another bath. See if it's still no change in the weather. So there are some changes at night time if we pop down. So this is when Oxford Street's popping. I think there was the kebab shop. Well, that was over at Mike's. Or was that here? This is where the kebab shop is. And actually, also this restaurant's closed at night time. We can pop into the church. There's nothing in the church yet, but oh, actually, she's not supposed to be there yet. That's a bit of a bug. Spoiler alert! I'll have to fix that one. She appears later as a bit of a quest. So there's not much else to show. There's a grid system here for equipment, but it's not quite... It only works for mouse support, and so it is really cool, but I think it's not going to be ready for this episode. Maybe later. Yeah, it's not quite ready yet. But we'll see. So that'll probably be gone in the later builds. Yeah, it's been a little bit buggy. Debug, we don't worry about. The diary system is a good one. We could go through some of these. Have a little bit of a look at the internet. It's annoying that it hasn't rained, but I guess it is Sydney. You know, I think it's set to rain about 1/3 of the time the weather will change. So statistically, it should have rained quite a lot by now, but it just doesn't seem to happen. No. Typical bloody Australia. Can't expect any bloody rain, can we? Oh well. You can jump online. The not all of our online enemies have been properly kind of set up yet. As our backdrop's saved, that's nice. You can have a look on Facebook. So that's a student. Oh, so this is just the student from episode 1. Pretty easy to deal with. But again, this is basically how we can make money and grind if you want to get your levels up, XP and so on. When you're north of the river, so up at Abbott House. And so this is where Peter's taunt comes in handy, because this student will only target one person at a time. So now the student's always going to target Peter because he's taunting them, which means that Tony and Jo can basically get away with what they need to do. but, very easy enemy. Get our XP. And we'll see as well now if we go to our diary main quest. So argue on the internet, we're up to now 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 people. And so we could pop across to YouTube. Argue with people on YouTube comments. Got a white nationalist. Probably be a bit more tricky. But I haven't set up their kind of special abilities yet, so we can just escape. And escaping on the internet's quite easy because, you can just log out. That might be all I'll show for now. We've got, well, we can, basically the main quest then is going to be doing shit for Bronny to get to that coveted Bronnycopter. So this is kind of the main quest line of the game then, is doing these things. And I'll skip through this to not give away too much in spoilers, but she's got a beef with the socialist agenda and those Marxist socialists that are everywhere with their PC agenda. Yeah, with their conspiracies. So we've got to help Bronny out a bit to win back her trust. And so she wants us to check under the bed for Reds, which is, fair enough. And so we can see we've got a new main quest there, Reds under the bed. Reds under the bed, yes. So Bronny has totally legitimate fears that there may in fact be Reds hiding under your bed. Better check just to be safe. And so that basically takes us in our quest. So we've got a lot to be going on with. And it's a little debugging tool. This is a seeing behind the curtain. This is the you didn't see that, by the way. That was magic. The things I have to put into the game just to essentially debug. But some of the other quests that are coming up, things like, so the only side quest so far is a quest for Malcolm Roberts choosing to believe that the UK doesn't actually exist, so we need to bring him some empirical evidence that the UK does exist. And another one for Barnaby, which will be some legislation, which is some very clever legislation, I think, which is to solve the housing affordability crisis. And it's a new tax incentive where the more properties you own, the less tax you pay. And if you don't own properties, then you actually have to pay money. So it's an incentive to get people to buy houses, because that's how it works, isn't it? It's, if you tax people, if you punish people for not owning houses, then that will incentivize them to buy houses, and then that solves the problem. It's brilliant. Some brilliant liberal logic there, I think. And, we've got a lot of these quests, so that's all of them. So in progress. A lot to be going on with. A lot more quests happening. There's a whole huge quest line at the ABC studios with a lot of familiar faces, all sorts of enemies happening. Have we even been to Mike's yet? I don't know. There's a lot of pop culture shit going on here. We've got Targetrons from Fallout 4. Mike Bed's Pleasure Paradise from Back to the Future 2. All mixed up. Everything's mixed up together. So yeah, a lot of new features, a lot of playtesting that's still got to happen. A lot of things to iron out, a lot of balancing. What can we buy here? We can buy a lot of things. Oh, this is where we can buy cigars. And also Greyhound jerky and Greyhound steaks, because that's Mike Baird. He fucking hates Greyhounds. Then this is his Pleasure Paradise. We can't go up in the lifts yet, but Mr. Baird is around in this. This is a bit of a Fallout 4 kind of, not Fallout 4, sorry, Fallout New Vegas kind of mashup. That's where these Tudgetrons are from. Alan Tudge, of course, racking up some robo-debt here. That's the only place open after midnight, so everywhere else is closed at night. And there's one other place I think we can go here. So down into this. Oh, we can't get in yet. I haven't scripted that, but we might find some Chinese connections, some Chinese Sydney connections in this restaurant. Who might that be? We'll never know. Well, I mean, you'll find out. And that's another pub. Hasn't been quite scripted yet. A lot of work to do, a lot of things to be going on with, but there is already a lot happening, and a few of these Bronny quests have already been fully done, and the rest will be kind of added, hopefully quite soon. So it's going well, a lot of new features. Diary system's good, we've got the internet happening, we've got the LNP Sydney handbook, all sorts of useful information. Whole new class with Christopher, the very caring potato, who has a whole lot of new skills. Lots of new skills for Tony and Joe. We've got equipment, graphics, the new battle avatar, animated enemies, quests, story, dialogue, all of Sydney accurately mapped out there. So much happening. I can't wait to get Tony into these gay clubs in his budgie smugglers, and you know, all the fun he's going to be having. But until then, make sure to keep up with what's going on the Facebook and devlog. Patreon should be launched any second now. Whole lot of stuff going on. It's going to be good. It's going to be great fun. So keep up with what's happening. And episode 2 should hopefully be out very soon, sooner rather than later. Most of it's done. Tweaks and things. I think some of it will probably carry into episode 3. But goddamn, I just need to get it out before nuclear apocalypse, or before just, you know, everything gets out of date, because I've had to redesign Barnaby's office about 5 times. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, have a good day, evening, night, and so forth. I've got to get those cabinet leaks in here as well. Oh, so much happening in the world of Australian politics. Okay, well, I'm going to get back to work. Just thought I'd show off some of these features. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.